Hey everybody, what's up? It's Shane the Rising Grind Picker. And so about a year ago, I did a dumpster diving laws video and people seem to like it. It has about 25,000 views, and I got a comment that really made me stop and think maybe a lot of people don't know this. So I thought maybe I should put this information out there for people to know. The question was from Katie McClure. And so I went dumpster diving not too long ago, and there was a sign that said no dumpster diving, no trespassing. No one caught me, but I was afraid the security camera of these security cameras, I'm not sure if their security in the area checks their cameras often, so I'm just wondering if they could get me when they check the cameras. That's a good question, and we're gonna go over this right now. So first off, let's talk about a no trespassing sign. If there's a no trespassing sign on private property, which is a store, and even in the back of the store, typically the signs are going to be up there just like that one that says no dumping allowed. So they're going to be up there and you're going to be able to see them. They're going to be near the dumpster, which is like, you know, dumpsters right here. They're going to be somewhere around it or on it or behind it. So this is the other thing. You're going to look for these signs, and you're probably going to see cameras. If they have the signs, you're going to see cameras on the corners of the store. And the question that Katie asked is, could they review the cameras? Could they prosecute her for being there? And you know what? That's a good question. It's a yes and no, and I'm going to kind of go over that. Also, if a dumpster is locked, like dumpsters have these locking mechanisms, you really don't want to go in those dumpsters. If they're open, I do. And if they're half open, I'll look at them. But if they're really locked down and they're closed, I will not break into them. You don't want to do that. Now you see where I'm going into this dumpster, and it appears to be locked, but it moves up enough to where it's not really locked. It's just that gate is hitting the actual, or that little bar is actually hitting the gate, so it's not really locked. But sometimes they do have this dumpster locked. But what you want to watch out for, okay, is dumpsters that are apparently locked and you can't get in. You don't want to like pry them up, because that would be a very bad, I mean, you could be like damage to property and stuff like that. So just be careful. So typically, the reason I say never go into a locked dumpster is those dumpsters are typically locked for a reason, to keep you out. When you see a lot of locked down dumpsters, you're going to see a lot of no trespassing signs. So to answer Katie's question, can they review the cameras and do whatever to you? Yeah, actually they can. So any property, any store, anything is private property. And a private property owner can do anything within the law to virtually make sure their property's safe. And so let me stop for a minute and tell you this. I did this dumpster diving law video about a year ago. I actually have a criminal law degree in a bachelor's in criminal law and associates in criminal justice studies. And so I'm going to kind of go over this with you, but every law is different throughout the United States. So every law in the United States in every city is going to be different. So you need to check your local laws and your state laws. In federal statute, dumpster diving is not illegal. It is perfectly legal, but it becomes illegal when a city or state makes it illegal. At that point, you're still living in that city or state, and they can fine you, they can do whatever. Most of the time it's a fine. It's nothing more than that. And the thing is, so if a store sees you dumpster diving, they review the cameras and they can see your license plate or see you, more than likely they're probably not going to call the police unless you've damaged something. Now if they have no trespassing signs up, that is criminal trespass. So if they have no trespassing signs up, that is criminal trespass. It is a criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor but most of them won't call if you don't damage anything or if you don't do nothing entirely stupid. They're not going to call. And more than likely what's going to happen is this: if they did call and they called the police, keep in mind, you know, most like criminal trespasses and stuff like that have about, I think it's like a few months where they have to either prosecute or they can't prosecute anymore. It's a law of limitations. It's either 3 to 6 months. So if they did call, and let's say the store did call and the police came out there and looked at the video and nothing really happened other than you were dumpster diving and you put everything back and you didn't throw anything on the ground and you weren't reckless, the police probably aren't going to do anything. They're not even going to look for you because they don't care. You know, they have other things to do. They have people to catch. They have murderers to catch. So they are not going to be worried about a dumpster diver. Now, here's the thing. If that store wants to press charges, they can. But more than likely, the police aren't going to do anything. They're going to tell the store, you know, they're probably not going to do much unless they want you trespassed, and then they'll do that. So virtually, if they can't identify you, then what's going to happen is if you come into that store, the manager could trespass you. If they can make an identification, they can call the police and have you trespassed. But I just don't really foresee anything coming out of this like super crazy, like, you know, anybody getting arrested or anything like that over dumpster diving. Most cops don't really care that much. They kind of let you, you know, if a store catches you, they'll come talk to you. You know, they'll pull you over and talk to you. But most of the time, they're really not going to do a whole lot. You know, they're just going to tell you, hey, leave the property. Don't come back. If I see you back here, I'll fine you or I'll trespass you, but just leave. And they usually leave it at that. So to continue the video, ignore all the stuff behind me. This is my crazy eBay office. My Amazon office is upstairs, so I couldn't really get into there. So kind of what I want to go over is what we talked about. So watch for signs when you're dumpster diving. Don't trespass. Don't open locked dumpsters. Could something happen? Yes, but it's very unlikely. If something does happen and the store actually calls the police, you're probably going to be getting a ticket or a citation. Let me tell you that dumpster diving is not illegal. It is legal federally. And basically, you know, anything that's set up for trash is rendered, you know, public domain. But unfortunately, some of the stores and businesses don't feel like that because they are private property. And so at that point, I mean, it's just a really gray area. Some cities have ordinances on it where it's just an ordinance violation. In some cities, it's a whatever they make it. But most of the cities, it's like a simple ordinance violation. You get a city fine. You simply pay the fine and it goes away. That's mainly what it is. Now, if you get caught on a security camera, could that come back to bite you? It could, but it's very doubtful. Just make sure, like when you're dumpster diving, pick up everything that's on the ground. Don't tear stuff open and spread it around everywhere, because then they are going to call the police. Because then not only, you know, are you littering, it's criminal damage to property, and it's also trespassing. And that criminal damage to property is something much bigger. It could be a misdemeanor. It could be you go to court. So you don't want to like make it messy. You just want to, you know, if you get it out of the dumpster, put it back. You don't want to give them any more ammo than what they already have. So, I mean, that's what I can tell you. You know, you can speculate and think that, oh, they're going to catch you or they're not going to catch you. But eventually, you know, if you're taking stuff out of the trash and spreading it everywhere, they're going to catch you. You know, these stores do have security and some malls do have security, and all it takes is them to know what times and what days you're coming. They sit and wait for you, and when you pull up, they call the police and they come and they question you. So just be sure you're being very vigilant about not littering, about not damaging any property. And if you do get caught on a security camera dumpster diving and you're picking up after yourself, I highly doubt the stores are going to do anything to you. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. You could be in a state that they will do something to you. I just don't know, because it depends on your location and where you're at, and you just need to check your local and your county laws. So city laws and county laws, as well as your state law. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.